Hi. I am so happy right now.
I know, right?
So we just got out Dracula Untold. The best B movie I have seen all year.
It is fantastic. It is exactly what you want when you go and see a B movie. So bad that it's good.
Oh, let's be straight here. This is not a good movie by any stretch of the imagination.
No, don't walk into this expecting greatness or mediocrity or anything. Just don't.
But I loved it.
Yes, I would pay money to see it again.
So would I. This is kind of like the bad B movie. Like, this kind of reminds me of Gangster Squad last year.
It's so entertaining. I think that is where this movie succeeds. It is legitimately entertaining. So many movies lately have just not been entertaining, and this one was.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god. I don't even know.
2 words for you.
I don't know where to start.
Bat fist.
Yes, the Bat Fist. It's in the trailer, so if you've seen the trailer, you know what we're talking about. We should be clear, this movie's not gonna be for everybody. This is strictly for the niche audience that are like us and can enjoy a good bad movie every once in a while.
Yeah, as long as you enjoy B-rated movies, you're gonna be fine. And also, you have to like B-rated fantasy movies. If that's not your thing, then don't even bother.
Because it's just over the top
It's
nonsense.
got nothing else to offer except for a great B-rated fantasy movie.
And it's like, it's just the action is so over the top. Everything that happens is so over the top.
The opening introduction with the slow motion freeze frame feed.
Oh yeah, like some really odd camera shots.
There are moments where you don't know what they're doing or why they thought it was a good idea, and then you see the whole movie and you're like, doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You're good. I mean, they did shaky cam, which annoyed me. There's parts I was literally kind of bobbing my head trying to get the camera straight.
The first fight scene is pretty much so like, I am gonna get dizzy.
No idea. I'm gonna hurl. But then Dracula gets his powers, and then everything's okay.
And the movie does not, in fact, forget that it created a superpowered vampire. It just keeps
going. Not just a superpowered vampire, the superpowered vampire. Because, like, there is nothing in heaven or hell that can stop this thing, apparently.
Nope, not even a little.
Like, even, like, they have the weaknesses like the crucifix and the silver in there. It doesn't do jack shit.
Which is pretty true to the original Dracula. He's not very vulnerable to pretty much anything.
It's kind of like, ow, flick.
It's just so good. It is.
Okay, so I guess we should go over the story then.
The story is totally irrelevant. Vampires, man. Vampires.
Basically what happens is apparently the Turks are gigantic dicks, and they like to take children out and basically do the 300 treatment on them, so they become super badasses. One was Vlad the Impaler, who happens to eventually become Dracula.
And he's known as Lord Impaler.
And what kind of awesome nickname is that? And it's a great porno name, too.
It really is, and not only that, his armor is this black over-the-top piece with red dragon, like, coiled on the front of it and dragons on his shoulder pieces.
No, the funny part is, I don't think this is the first Dracula movie to do that. I think the Gary Oldman one did that one, too.
It doesn't even matter. He's known as Lord Impaler, son of the dragon.
Son of the dragon. I would pay good money to be called by that.
Exactly.
It's like, hey, Michael, no. Lord Impaler.
Lord Impaler, son of the dragon.
Get it right. Full thing. Every time.
Signing your name would be fantastic.
The Trogdor, the Burninator.
So, the Turks.
Dracula.
Steal people.
Burninating the countryside. Burninating the peasants.
It's badinating.
Badinating the peasants.
Oh, just like that.
So, yeah, the Turks are assholes, and apparently, after Lord Impaler comes back to Transylvania, by the way, why is the bad guy the only one with the Transylvanian accent? He does a very bad job of it, too.
I don't even know, I'm just going with it. It doesn't, there is nothing redeeming in terms
No,
of
absolutely not.
that.
The bad guy was horrible, except for, like, the first vampire, apparently, because Yeah, in this version, Dracula's not the first vampire. He's the second one. The first one...
But he's the first real vampire, because the other guy was stuck in a cave, which doesn't totally count.
Because he gets cursed, like, it's played by Tywin Lannister, which I didn't even realize until the very end of the movie.
Exactly, Tywin Lannister is in fact the original vampire.
Which I don't know if makes it a great twist at the end. It's like, oh fuck, I can't wait for a sequel.
Exactly.
But basically, he got cursed, and now he's stuck in a cave as a vampire, but he can't leave until he passes on his power to someone else.
And he's not the pretty vampire, he's the ugly, disgusting, like, Nosferatu.
Yeah, I was actually surprised they used practical effects on that. it looked pretty good.
You were kind of creeped out by him.
No, he was the best part of the movie. Like, when he had his one scene where he actually spoke, he was legitimately creepy.
He was.
I was like, oh, jeez. I kind of want the movie to be about him a little bit. But either way, the guy who played Dracula just totally just went for it.
You could tell that he gave zero shits about
just how ridiculous this whole thing is.
And went full force, and it was wonderful.
That's the way to do a good bad movie. It's just like, fuck it. Go all in, just go out. Like, any bad Nicolas Cage movie kind of falls in this category. I was like, if you're gonna do something stupid, go all the way. Exactly.
And everyone in this movie took that to heart.
Yeah, I mean, of course you have, like, the throwaway characters, like, his wife was that's a know-nothing character.
Oh, of course not. She was a plot device.
She was. And of course, you kind of figure out what happens to her. And of course, this little son.
Also plot device.
Yeah, so it's like, they're nothing. You really don't give a shit about them.
The only reason they're there is to give Dracula a reason to be Dracula.
Yeah, because I was laughing at the fact that at the very beginning of this movie, because the movie, like, it starts out with Lord Impaler looking at a Turkish helmet in a river, and he just knows for some reason it came from this big-ass motherfucking mountain in the distance. Even had no way to know that for sure.
Yeah, it's in a river, and he's like, it washed downstream. It's
from there, as opposed to like any other point in the river.
But it's okay. It's okay. And when you're first looking at this helmet, it looks really boring. It's just like, okay, there's a helmet. Well, that's neat. And then they turn it over, and you realize
claw
marks.
It's like, oh shit.
And then you realize
a lot has happened since the season finale of Game of Thrones.
Yes, indeed.
Gotta get that little bastard. that's his mission, I'm guessing. That's why he's alive for years. Peter
exactly,
Dinklage
that's why he sold his soul to the devil.
So he can get Peter Dinklage.
Yes.
Spoiler for Game of Thrones, by the way.
Well, we didn't exactly say what happened.
Yeah, if it's Game of Thrones, though, you can kind of figure it out. I'm not gonna say it. Anyway, go watch Game of Thrones if you haven't already. But back to Dracula. So the Turks come back after they find out their scouts are missing and says, okay, we want, like, 10,000 of your boys so we can whip them
it's
into...
1,000.
Oh, 1,000.
And they also are under the rule of the Turkish Empire, so they always give tribute to the Turkish Emperor. Even Vlad's dad gave tribute, which was Vlad. Vlad was part of that tribute.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
He was willingly given to the Turks. So they came in and, like, steal people, but they are willingly given. It's weird.
They're nice about it, I guess.
Until they start whipping people. It's
until
all
they
nice
start whipping,
until they start whipping.
That's how it usually goes. Unless you're into that, in which case that's just where it begins. The safety word is Dracula.
Dracula.
No. The safe word is Lord Impaler. Does this please you, my lord? I'm sure they did that in True Blood, probably.
Oh my goodness, they might. Or in the porn spoof of this movie. That will definitely happen.
Dracula, story untold. Hello, Lord Impaler. Where'd you get that name? Let me show you. Oh my.
And now we've devolved into porn.
It's not the worst we've done, actually. But
I'm not surprised.
yeah, you shouldn't be. I do have it's been a while since I made a lightning penis joke, so.
Well, he does have lightning.
Missed opportunity.
Of lightning.
This should cross over the Legend of Hercules movie. I would personally fund that project.
Obviously, this means Dracula is Zeus.
No, what I want to see Bat Fist versus Lightning Penis Sword. There's a whole movie right there. You don't need anything else. Make that an hour and a half. I'll be happy.
Fair point.
I'll be the only one in the theater, but I'll be happy. Because that's a hard movie to market.
They marketed Sharknado.
Point. Okay, so I guess it'll be in the Sci-Fi Channel. So
Yes, it will.
that actually wouldn't be a movie that'd pop on the Sci-Fi
It
Channel.
would. Direct to TV, Hercules versus Dracula.
Lightning Penis Sword versus Bat Fist. By the way, Bat Fist, for those who don't know, is like towards the end of the movie. Oh, by the way, this is the point where I knew I was gonna love this movie. Is the point where at this point, I guess, like, Dracula, I'm just gonna call him Dracula, and the main bad guy have, like, some personal history, although you can never tell by the way the movie shows it. And he has this, like, the bad guy is this over-the-top emperor dude, has a big bushy beard, and it's, like, he's the only one with an accent, which is really distracting. And, at point he says the dumbest line I've heard in a movie in a long time. It's like, after Dracula gets his powers, he starts kicking everyone's ass, single-handedly, just kicks everyone's ass.
He really does. He takes on 1,000 guys. By himself.
And then takes the time to put each one on a spike.
Exactly, each one.
And then he goes, it's like, there's rumors that there's he has dark magic and stuff like that. He says, you are not afraid of what you cannot see. It's like, yeah, you kind of are.
That's the whole point of the dark, because you can't see it.
Because, like, I don't know, if I was sitting there and I just heard, like, crazy bat shit flying around me, I'd be like, what the fuck's going on?
The first thing that would do is the blindfold is coming off.
And then they blindfold their entire army and say, yeah, you can work with this.
Because apparently when they were originally trained, they were trained blind.
And that was the start where I started cracking up. I was doing the silent, shoulder shaking.
We also missed the fantastic line by the one soldier left alive after the siege of Captain
Oh yeah,
Dracula.
because like the emperor comes in, he sees one shoulder left alive, and just goes, Vlad left a message. He said, enjoy the view.
And it's the sun rising over the ruins of Castle Dracula
Like
with
that.
all of the soldiers
Man, his
impaled.
dramatic timing is amazing.
No,
It's like it's not like he planned
this.
that. Yeah. He's like, oh no. If they come at noon, just don't worry about it.
It's gotta be right now. Well, technically, he gets to the point where he can control the weather, so he might have been hiding the sun a little bit.
True, that's on the end of the movie though.
Shh, it doesn't matter.
Fair enough. It's not like it fucking matters. Continuity is not an issue in this movie.
Oh, it's so good.
So, and then it gets to the point where it gets the big final match where he just summons like every bat in the world, forms a giant fist with it, and just starts bat punching every.
Then we end up with a bat tornado, which sounds infinitely more interesting than Sharknado.
That's like, I was kind of thinking, it was like, this is what happens if Batman would ever like level up.
My comment in the movie was Dracula, the original Batman.
We need another Batman vs. Dracula movie.
That'd be so good.
There's actually one that exists. It's a cartoon, but it exists.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah, it's called The Batman vs. Dracula. You can look it up.
I might.
I'm talking old school Vlad too. He has a Transylvanian accent, the cloak, and the fancy hair and everything.
I can get behind this.
Yeah. And that actually ends with like Dracula and the wounded, like, you are Bruce Wayne. And he goes, no, I'm Batman. And then just kills Dracula right there.
Because we all knew where that was going to end. Because you can't have Dracula kill Batman. Although Vampire Batman,
It has Vampire Joker, actually.
not bad.
That goes into a blood bank, starts crawling on the walls and shit. It's actually kind of trippy.
I would see him more as a werewolf.
Yeah.
Just like explodes into chaos occasionally. Like, nope, gotta be chaos now.
And Penguin is like Igor in the movie. serves Dracula.
Oh my goodness, it's great.
Kind of have to go see that now.
Yeah,
Do a review of that movie at some point. I kind of want to watch that again. Anyway, so Dracula Untold. Fuck, I love this movie.
I know. It's like I would go see it again happily, 100%.
So like the big restraint in this is that Dracula can't drink blood for 3 days, otherwise he's cursed with it for life. And evil first vampire guy gets to go off his cave, out of the cave, and do whatever he wants.
Yep, because he gets to pick a fight with the guy who turned him into a vampire. Because he didn't choose vampiricism. It's the typical deal with the devil.
Yeah. Because the
tricked.
devil's just a douchebag. Except the South Park devil. He's kind of. I would hang out with the South Park devil. Seems like a generally nice guy.
He kind of does.
When God says you're a pussy, you know.
It's true.
Anyway, do you watch South Park?
From time to time. Not
Okay.
a whole lot. Not regularly, but I catch the occasional episode.
Fair enough. But anyway, so yeah. And then, so he doesn't do it until the third day.
At sunrise, because at this point, they've had this big distraction, and the evil Emperor Dude captures his son, and his wife gets plummeted down a gigantic cliff, and somehow survives the fall. We're just gonna accept it. We're gonna...
Because it was like 20 stories. I was like,
Well,
you know, you're dead. I know.
Maybe she hasn't bled out yet, okay?
I mean, I know I just saw a giant bat fist, but no.
I love how that's the problem that you have with the movie.
I know, my brain's weird like that. But it's like, no, your skull's caved in. You're dead.
Well, maybe he caught up to her.
Possibly. I will accept that explanation.
Just enough to, like, cushion it a little so that she didn't die immediately.
Fair, I'll go with it. Sure, why not? Because then he says, you need to save our son. Drink my blood. But no, I will be cursed like this forever. Just do it.
Yeah, it never, except the fact in this conversation, never is it brought up that he's going to be cursed forever. It's just like, you need to save our son.
So I was like, okay, and then he does it. And it's stuffy in here. But he just says, okay, and then he becomes evil, final Dracula.
Except for he's never evil, he's just final Dracula.
He's kind of evil. I mean, his first thought is, all right, who wants to kill some bitches?
Yeah, okay, this is the greatest use of vampire revenge powers I have ever seen. His first response is to walk back up to their place of last siege, find all of the survivors, turn all of them into vampires, and march on the Turkish army.
They don't even march. They just kind of just show up. Like,
There was definitely marching because there was lightning.
oh, is that what that was? That was all the vampires doing their vampire
No,
thing?
they came in as bats. That was the, like, Dementor scene.
Yeah,
flying.
like, that's what I was thinking. It's like, if Dracula marches, like, he just kind of just charges single-handedly alone. Like at this point, he can control the weather, apparently, because why the hell not?
Because he bites her, and obviously the sun is rising at this point, so that kind of means he's gonna die. And the immediate response is the sun's just like, fuck this, and leaves.
Pretty much. So he walks in there. You see, he's got the big badass dragon armor
He put
on
back on his dragon armor.
and he's marching down. There's lightning, like 1,000 lightning shots going behind him. He's doing the badass walk, you know, like cape wafting in the wind. And just out of nowhere, just 1,000 like vampires will just storm on these people, just eat everybody.
Yeah, there's no more like we're not eating people. There's definitely we're eating everyone.
Yeah, and then like every actor who played a vampire just hams it up.
They really did.
Like, what was that one line? Like, one of the, I guess, Dracula's old friends says, like, I thought there used to be too many of you. Now there's not enough.
Exactly.
Bite. And then they all make sounds like tigers.
And you get the creepy twins who turn into vampires.
Oh yeah, because it's also worth noting, before this point, they were all ready just to fillet Dracula alive.
They actually lit him on fire while he was alive.
And then he gets a little pissed, for a good reason, and basically says, dude, don't do that again.
Yeah, like,
I can kill all of you.
You do realize, like, you would already be dead. I just did you a favor, right?
Yeah, but it's like, no, you're the devil! Evil priest dude. Like,
and that lasted for a grand total of 2 minutes.
yeah, and then it was like, okay.
Well,
and then we're
got a
like,
point there.
Hey, all right, it's a solid point. We are still alive, so we'll go with it. And then they just don't bother with it again until they have to become vampires.
Until they all die.
And then you'll see, yeah. So then they have the big boss battle room. Like,
which is legitimately a boss battle room.
It is.
With traps and...
With traps, because apparently the guy says, all right, if he's going to do this, I need some prep time. So just set up this elaborate... The whole floor of the tent is lined with silver, and then there are bags of silver just hanging all over the place. Just a crate of silver over here.
And he has a silver sword.
He has a silver sword. He is ready to go. Like, it's like, oh, this is like the zombie apocalypse theory, you know, where like we all have our zombie plan.
I think that secretly he knew that he wasn't going to kill Dracula, so he was just like, I'm ready.
Like, let's do this. I don't know why he's Hulk Hogan now. It would have been better if it had Hulk Hogan.
He could be the bad guy. I'd be okay with this.
Like Bonesaw from Spider-Man. Just get the, like, come on now, Bonesaw is ready.
Also, it's worth noting the silver sword does him no good at all.
No, it doesn't do shit.
He never once.
He doesn't think to use it. He grabs a wooden stake instead, and you think a silver sword is just stab, done.
But it doesn't necessarily mean it kills him. He's weak to it, but it doesn't mean
That
it kills
is
him.
true. That is true. He just kind of more. I was like, oh, this is mildly inconvenient.
Yeah.
It's like, Superman 2 when he throws the S at that one Kryptonian.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is a minor inconvenience. Okay. Back to punching now.
Yeah, silver is kind of just Vlad's kryptonite.
Pretty much, yeah.
It
Plot
does-
device. So does that make the evil Emperor Lex Luthor in this case?
Yes. He has enough money.
True.
And
yeah,
enough
apparently.
evil henchmen that die.
Well, at this point, like this is kind of like if Superman had all the henchmen. That 8 people. I would watch that Superman movie. Just Superman brought all the Kryptonians down. And it's like, all right, Lex Luthor, we're gonna beat up all your robots now, and we're gonna eat them afterwards.
I'm imagining him do a commercial for Wheaties that is just eating robot parts. Oh, it's good.
Backs it up with DreamWorks robots. You remember that one? But anyway, so yeah, we had the boss battle, and then the sun goes off one of the only human still left alive, which is like a priest that has a crucifix. Says, "Get away from me."
Well, because all of the other vampires decide that they're going to eat his son.
Yeah.
Because they're like, hey, he's a human and we like humans. They're tasty. And Vlad's like, remember who I am.
Yeah, I'm gonna impale you, Lord Impaler. That'll be in the porno.
Yes, that will.
You forgot who I am. Now bend over. This is gonna be a really rude review.
Yes, it's okay. It's a really weird movie.
I'm just in such a happy mood right now.
I know, there was
This
such
is not
violence.
what I expected today, and I'm so thrilled.
It was such satisfying violence.
I know. And it was a real treat.
It was unexpected. I think that's part of what made it so good.
Yeah.
Is I walked in expecting misery.
Yeah, I was expecting to hate this. I'm not gonna lie. But it's like what I said, what I found was glorious. Like watching Ghost Rider 2 for the first time all over again.
Oh, so we should probably get back to the plot that we keep migrating away from. So we impale this guy, and then priest guy shows up with the crucifix, and all the other vampires, because they're not as cool as Vlad, can't handle it.
Yeah, so Vlad gives his son over to the priest because he knows that's the only way he'll be safe. And then basically says, all right, all the vampires need to go, so bye clouds, sun comes down, we all die.
Although there is one fairly funny part that when he is fighting the evil bad guy and he finally kills him, because he takes the stake and stabs the other guy, he's like, Lord Impaler. He's like, no, that's not my name.
I am Dracula,
Son of the devil. And then he eats him. And it's so good.
It is that B movie with the one-liners, with the over-the-top acting, with the over-the-top violence. It is so damn enjoyable. It's like, again, going back to Ghost Rider 2, it's like, did you see Ghost Rider 2?
Nope.
You should, because there's a part where Ghost Rider jumps into a giant construction digger, that digs a hole in the ground, and turns it into a gigantic flaming chainsaw of doom. Just mows down everyone.
I could accept this.
It is amazing. So it is that kind of movie. If you like that kind of movie, you will love this movie. If you do not, if you think these movies are stupid, and you would be fully justified in saying so,
Yes, you would.
You will hate this movie. But if anything of what we described so far appeals to you in any way, you will like this movie. But the movie ends, it turns out, there's one Igor-looking guy who's, wants to follow Dracula because he recognizes vampires.
Obviously from the book, he doesn't eat bugs in this one, thank God.
Not yet. There's a sequel coming out.
He starts eating bugs. I'm like, no eating bugs.
And he finds Dracula's body, he gives him a little blow, which brings him back to life, and then you flash forward
because
several hundred years in the future.
Everyone else explodes into pieces, but he's Dracula, so screw the rules.
Pretty much, yeah. So, and then he brings Dracula back to life, and then we flash forward several years later, where now evil cave vampire is now Tywin Lannister, just chilling, and just ends the movie, goes, let the games begin.
Because it's implied that Vlad has found the reincarnated version of his wife.
Yeah.
Courtesy of exposition of his child.
Yeah. So, Yeah, that's the movie.
Yeah,
and it's
that's what happens.
I've heard they want to make this like an expanded like monster movie universe, like Marvel's doing with the Avengers and stuff like that. If this is where it's going, I'm all for it. I would love a good bad B movie universe
I
going
was
on.
half expecting Dracula to open the door where his armor was stored and just have the Wolfman.
I was expecting Frankenstein, so
Because he made growling noises as he was looking at it, so I didn't know if it was him growling or the door growling.
how amazing would it be just Wolfman right the fuck out of nowhere. It just comes out.
Just like tears someone's face off.
That would be awesome. It's like, well, I don't know how Wolfman would top this though, unless it became like super ultra mega like Dragon Ball Z level Wolfman and just like turned to freaking Godzilla size. And
I just
starts
have to
matching people.
admit, if a Wolfman suddenly got Super Saiyan hair and started glowing,
Yeah,
that would be so cool.
Have that fight, Bat Fist.
And summon spectral other wolves
and the mummy can like use all his strands to strangle people.
and many.
And of course, just because it did so well in the first movie, let's have that giant wall of sand too. That worked.
And then the giant wall of water in the second one.
Yep. We don't talk about the third
No,
one.
we don't.
Because as far as I'm concerned, that never happened.
Yeah, I'm with you that it's like the fourth Indiana Jones movie that I refuse to watch.
Yeah, smart thinking. Do you see that South Park episode? They made a whole South Park joke where all the kids are grieving because it's like, they raped him! They raped our friend! And then they arrest George Lucas and Steven Spielberg, and then everyone's crying and hugging each other like, they got him! They got him! It's great. Anyway.
If only. Well, not Steven Spielberg. I happen to like him, but we can give it to George Lucas.
Yeah, either way, it's like, where'd you find him? We found him fucking a stormtrooper. Oh my god. It's like, again, if anything we've described sounds like anything you would enjoy, go see this movie. You will have a good time.
And just go with your friends, go laugh. This is one of those movies you can chat through because everyone's chatting through it anyway.
The guys behind us are making just as many jokes as we were.
I know, and they were having, I love at the end of it, they're like, this is fantastic.
Like, that is our people was behind us.
We were really lucky to have our people behind us.
I know, like, it's even most people around us seem kind of like a general James spirit.
Even the older, sometimes the older individuals can be a bit don't talk in the movie, and these guys were full force.
Yeah, we were all kind of the same boat. Like, this is really dumb, but I'm okay with it.
And everyone liked it.
Yeah.
I think some person actually started clapping.
I heard that
at
guy
the
too.
end of the
Like,
movie.
yes, play it again, encore. Fuck yeah, let's sit through this again. Get a 6-pack. Let's have fun. We are gonna Mystery Science Theater the shit out of this.
Bring us some beer, bring us some pizza.
Riff tracks, here we come.
It was so good.
It's like, I don't know what other movies are gonna make to expand this. I whatever it is, I will be first in line at that premiere. Yes. The Invisible Man might be tricky, but I'll sit on board for that.
It's okay, just go for it.
Maybe go the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen route.
That's what I was just gonna say. We should definitely do that. That should happen.
That should happen, except better this time.
Well, it should happen like this.
Yeah. It's, I mean, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is kind of already a B movie, but it's not nearly as fun.
Indeed. Although I still enjoyed it.
It's a guilty pleasure, maybe.
You have to be in the mood to watch it, but occasionally when I dust off my DVD shelf, I
was okay with it until I read the books, and then I looked like,
oh, never did
these
that.
have absolutely nothing in common.
I was pretty stoked about Sean Connery, and that was kind of where that.
Yeah, and that's a movie that killed his career.
We don't talk about that.
The review of that movie's coming up, by the way. I still gotta film it, but I'm working on it. It's written. I just gotta finish filming it. But anyway, so yeah.
Dracula, son of the devil.
I can't wait to see what else they do. Just put this director on all of the movies, and I will go see every single one. Hell, I would invite all of my friends to go see every single one. I will single-handedly finance this universe just because I want to see where it's going.
Think about going to a midnight premiere of that.
Oh yeah, we will all dress up in horror as horror characters.
That's why the guy who took our tickets was dressed up like that.
To be fair, he kind of hangs around that theater and dresses up in all kinds of
But
stuff
it still
anyway.
was really amusing.
No, I love that guy. He just shows up in random costumes and just greets people. Doesn't even take the tickets. He just hangs around there, apparently.
He directs people.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good.
So, yeah, I guess trailers then?
Oh, I forgot that was a thing.
Yep. So,
If you make me talk about Exodus one more time.
so we got horns.
Exactly.
The horns actually, speaking of twisted fun,
That looks really good.
I really want to see horns actually. I mean, it's like not doing great on Rotten Tomato, but it looks so twisted.
It just looks funny. It looks like you
It's
can
like
go
so
enjoy it.
different that I have to see it just to see what the hell is going on.
Exactly.
So, and it has Daniel Radcliffe doing an American accent.
And
So,
he does a really good American accent,
it's not bad.
surprisingly.
It's not bad. Like,
I've seen
like,
a lot of bad British American accents, and this one is pretty good.
yeah, I'm very much in agreement. Like, it looks very unique. So it's like just.
And my favorite scene in the trailer is when he tells the news reporters that to start fighting one another, and whoever wins gets an
It's
exclusive
like,
with
okay,
him.
why don't you two just beat the heck out of each other, and whoever wins gets an exclusive
And
with
this
me.
anchor
It's just-
takes his microphone and just baseball bats this chick. It is beautiful.
So I'm curious about that, and this snake is like, why do you have a snake? My new friend? And-
His friend's like,
okay. And then we got Ouija,
no.
because this movie needed to happen.
Again and again and again. And it's just the stupid, we need to have a horror movie on Halloween, so this is the horror movie we picked. It's the bad, terrible, awful, awful version of Jumanji. They even have the thing where we need to finish the game.
Yeah, like so them just have jungles in the middle of houses and
I know.
awesome shit like that.
I said, it's not nearly as good.
I'm just waiting for Monopoly the movie.
It's like Zathura.
Zathura. I remember that movie.
Terrible movie,
It was
too.
bad. No, I want to see a Monopoly movie, but it's a mobster movie. It's about slowly taking over an entire city from the ground up. So it's like, the full, mobster rise to fame, Godfather type of movie
With Monopoly.
with Monopoly. Just have this, when some guy says like, you landed on my railroad. You need to pay the toll. I don't have the money. You don't have the money? Then you're going to jail, mister. And there's no get out of jail free cards here.
It would be very funny. But yeah, Ouija, I have nothing to say about
Neither
that.
do I. Obviously, since I'm talking about a theoretical Monopoly movie, I clearly have nothing to say about Ouija. It looks like every other horror movie you've seen.
Yes. Yes, it does.
So, other than that, though, Dracula Untold, yeah, I actually really recommend this movie.
See it. If you just want to do something fun and stupid and laugh, just go see the movie.
Like,
just do it.
It has been so hard since it's so long since I've enjoyed a B movie this much. So it's like if you're like me, you'll enjoy this. If you're not, you'll hate it for sure.
There's no middle ground with this.
It's really not. They either like, oh my god, this is amazing, or like, this is crap, and you'll be right either way.
You really will. So either sit there and be like, yeah, this is the best money I've spent in a long time, or just go get a refund on your ticket if you were crazy enough to buy one.
It's one of those things, you'll know if you're gonna like this movie or not.
You really will. If the trailer looked interesting with Batfist,
That was the thing, like, when I saw the trailers, like, this doesn't look that bad. It doesn't look the worst thing I've seen ever. So I guess it kind of feel more to me from the get-go.
I saw it and I knew I was watching the movie. I saw the trailer and was like, yep, this is happening.
Okay, so I think that's all we got.
Yep.
So next week we got to catch up on Alexander and the whatever horrible day.
Yeah, that children's.
I want to see if I can track down Birdman somewhere, because that looks really, the Michael Keaton movie. I'll send you a trailer.
Okay. It'll be the only trailer that I've seen. Aside from this one, I saw the trailer for this movie, but every other movie, I have no idea what I'm walking into.
It's basically like Michael Keaton's, like, almost a commentary on his career as Batman.
Nice.
Except now it's Birdman. But, yeah, you see the costume. And then we got that, and we got Fury, which is actually getting pretty good reviews. I heard that one. You said your mother saw that, right? So it was
Yep.
like intense as hell.
Yeah, the only thing that she had to say, she told me that she went to see the movie, and she's just like, that movie is intense. It's definitely a war movie. I'm like, was it good? She's like, the movie was intense. Like, okay.
And that's all that matters. Oh, we got the Book of Life. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
Yep.
And there's a Nicholas Sparks movie out. I don't want to see it.
You really will. So either sit there and be like, yeah, this is the best money I've spent in a long time, or just go get a refund on your ticket if you were crazy enough to buy one.
So, yeah, it's
No.
So I'm not going to subject anyone to that.
No. Just no.
So yeah, I think that's all we got. So yeah, watch this video, decide for yourself. So see you all next week.